Alhamdulillah for breath. Alhamdulillah for life. Alhamdulillah for friends and company and food and wealth. Alhamdulillah for Iman and belief in Allah. Alhamdulillah, as much as we can count the stars and every droplet in the sea and every grain of sand, Alhamdulillah. And there is no blessing that you have, whether it's a masjid or life or belief or anything. There is nothing, no blessing, except that it's from Allah. And so we say, Alhamdulillah. Say it. I want to thank everybody in this room and everyone in the community for showcasing what a successful Islamic community represents. I want to thank all of the brothers and sisters who put in countless hours and enormous effort in bringing out the success of what we know to be MCC. I want to also thank our elders and parents who initially organized, despite the challenges, this beautiful masjid and community, and worked harder than ever to maintain its survival throughout the years. Not many communities can say that they have a 50-year anniversary. And I'm from Charlotte, so as Kamran said. To last that long is a huge sign of Allah's favor and bounty for every participant and community member. Being someone from the outside, I don't have many memories. I came here in January when there was a polar vortex. I never ever heard of a polar vortex before that. There was frost forming on the floor in my apartment and everything. It was subhanAllah. But one memory that stands out here for my past 2 months in the masjid is in Ramadan. I was in my office, and those who've been to my office have seen the glass window, and there are these vases in front of the window. While I'm sitting in my office before Taraweeh, and a little secret, I always have a freak out moment before anytime I lead prayer or anytime I give a speech. There's always that moment where I panic. And so it was right before Taraweeh, and I was going through that little initial panic that I had. And I saw someone outside with his, what looked to be his daughter, and he was pointing inside the window. I thought he was going to come in and, he stood up and walked towards the office. I was like, oh God, he's going to ask me a question, and right now I'm stressed out for leaving Taraweeh. I didn't really want to talk to anybody at that time. So he walked towards the office and knocked on the door and said, can I come in? I said, sure. He introduced himself, and he told me that he is a Palestinian originally, and he came to America when he was younger, and his father was a communist. And he raised him to not be a Muslim, so he was an atheist when he came to America. Eventually, as he was growing older, he joined a gang called I forgot the name, but from what I remember, it's the Saints. Apparently, they lost their quarterback. Being from Charlotte, it's a good thing, but anyway. He said that in his jahiliyyah, in his darkness, before he became a Muslim, he eventually was sentenced to prison, and he spent a good long years there. After he got out of prison, he married a beautiful wife and had his daughter. So I said, okay, jazakallah khair for the life story. But he told me one thing that stood out. He said, when I was in prison, I used to make pottery. And one of the things that I made was a vase that looks exactly like this one. It was the big black vase. He said, it looks exactly like this one. So I guess maybe on my face it said, okay, sure, I don't really believe you. He said, can I lift it? He said, I'm pretty sure I made this one 18 years ago. I said, sure, lift it. So he lifted it, and there was his name etched on the bottom with the dates ending in 2001. It's amazing how a masjid can bring things together. And that's the point, to always come together, right? When we have our walimas, when we have our funerals, when we have any events, it's always at the masjid. That's the nucleus of a Muslim's life. Everything revolves around that, everything. And it is truly what builds and sustains his spiritual identity. Nothing else. Not his racial identity, not his ethnic identity, not his whatever, or her. It's his spiritual identity. He defines himself as a Muslim, and his home, wherever he goes, and his haven and his refuge will always be a masjid. So since my time is short, and apparently everyone's going over time, so I'm going over time. I can't stop. I want to share with you 5 key elements of a successful community. And alhamdulillah, I can see these elements in this community, but nothing is perfect. As we say, al-kamal lillah. Perfection is for God, no one else. And so we can always work to better ourselves and make ourselves closer to perfection. The first element of a successful community is a sustainable connection between different generations. A community with no relationship or respect for its elders is doomed to lose its way and it's doomed to fail. And a group of elders with no connection to their youngsters is called the retirement home. Everyone is just waiting for their turn. The second is a shared connection between different racial backgrounds and ethnicities. Diversity is what brings strength. The Prophet ﷺ was of the most noble, rather the most noble lineage. He is the son of Ismail, who was the son of Ibrahim ﷺ. And despite that noble lineage that was recognized in his community, he did not shy away from bringing people together, regardless of where they were from. His mu'adhin was who? Bilal. Bilal was from where? Well, we know today to be Ethiopia. We know in the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us that dignity, honor, is not with your richness or poverty. It's not whether you're black or white or old or young. It's what? It's taqwa, right? Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. The most noble of you are those who are most pious. And piety is not in your skin, it's in a different organ, it's in your heart. The third is adaptability and the courage to tackle current affairs. But this doesn't work unless you have number 1, the connection between generations. That's why we need the wisdom of our elders and the energy of our youth. The Prophet ﷺ in his seerah, he depended on his youth. The Battle of Uhud, when he consulted the Sahaba, who did he look for consultation? The younger generations. Whenever he would send anybody to represent him or an expedition, many of them were the younger guys. And so he enabled the youth and trusted their judgment. The fourth is pooling resources efficiently towards a common goal and prioritizing properly. This means that Muslims must be organized in their efforts. Purpose without energy is wishful thinking, and energy without purpose is foolishness. And the fifth and most important, and above all else, is for the key to a successful community is a timeless, unbreakable, and unapologetic connection with the Creator. This must be instilled in our children, and it must be reminded and reiterated as we grow older and older. This is what determines the eligibility of our actions, and it's the compass for our morals. We don't decide what's right and wrong based on how we feel. We decide what's right and wrong by what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us. Finally, I want to end by reminding every one of you of what the Prophet ﷺ did after a long journey from Mecca. He was 53, which is, at that point, you're pretty much old and arthritis and all that stuff. The Prophet ﷺ traveled for 10 days from Mecca to Medina. And when he reached the district of Medina, he reached a small village called Quba. What was the first thing he did when he reached Quba? He built a masjid. He didn't stand from the back and tell the young guys, do this and do that. Rather, he was there lifting the bricks in the hot sun and chanting with the Sahaba and building together. That's what a leader is, and that's what a community does. And that's the first priority of every community, establishing that masjid. And by the way, if you ever want to visit Quba, inshallah we're planning a Umrah trip in March, and I'll be leading that group, so you can join me, inshallah. We'll walk from the Haram to Quba together, and I can show you where the Prophet ﷺ exactly prayed, inshallah. The very last thing about masajid that I want to mention is from the wisdoms of Surah An-Nur, the Surah of Light. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allahu Nuru Samawati wal Ard. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. And then the ayah describes light for further description. The next ayah, the very next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, في بيوت أذن الله أن يذكر فيها اسمه في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والآصال. The light of Allah and the description of His light, immediately after that, are houses in which Allah's names are praised, and He is worshipped, and there is no distraction of money and family. Talking about the masajid, they are glimpses of the light of Allah. They are the source to tap into that light and to connect with God. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our connection with Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continuously bless this masjid and make from its generations leaders who will lead this ummah into great places and change the course of this. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.